Hi everyone, welcome to another segment of the Placement Interview Experience series. The company that we will be discussing today is Altimetrik. Before we move on, take out a minute to subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and we will be uploading many more videos to help you out with your placement preparation journey.
So the profile that is offered by Altimetrik is that of a software engineer. Coming to the CTC, they are offering 4.25 LPA with variable that's 75K. Eligibility criteria branches eligible are CS and IT. In your SSC and HSC, you should be having 70% and above, and your BE or BTech CGPA should be 7 and above. So coming to the recruitment process, the first phase is the online test. The platform that it was held on was HackerRank, and the aptitude test consisted of 8 sections that you were supposed to solve in 58 minutes. Then there's the usual interview rounds. So technical 1, 2, and HR rounds, the duration of which is as mentioned in the PPT. So let's quickly invite our guest for today and discuss this in detail.
So guys, before we proceed with our video, if you are looking for good jobs like this one, Relevel is good option that you can look for and register on. The best thing is that the test given by Relevel is completely free and you get hired by top companies like Cred, Upgrad, Razorpay, etc. and other 50 good companies with over 1000 plus openings.
So you can register for the Relevel test in just these simple 5 steps. You need to sign up on relevel.com, select the test of your choice. That could be either back-end development, front-end development, or business development. So after you've decided which sort of test you want to appear for, you need to click on register for free. And then you need to select the language that you will be appearing in. So you can select from Python, Java, or Node.js. So now you need to book the slot whenever you want to give the Relevel test. After which you need to create a neat video resume. So you can talk about yourself, your experience, and your career aspirations. And the video resume has to be submitted within 24 hours after you've selected the slot to confirm it. And after you've submitted the video resume, you just need to click on submit and confirm your slots. So that's all. All the tests can be completed in a single day and you'll get your scores in a few days.
So guys, the test is completely free. You need to get a score of 700 plus so that the companies will contact you. And if you are getting higher the score, the more the companies will approach to you. Hi everyone. Today we have with us Chinmay Ambolikar, who has successfully cracked Altimetrik for the job role of software engineer. Welcome to our channel, Chinmay, and congratulations.
Thank you, Devesh. Thank you, Sanchita. So myself, Chinmay Ambolikar. I am pursuing my final year BTech in computer science. And thank you for letting me here.
So I guess we can get started now. So let's start with the first round, that is the aptitude round.
Okay, so that was the aptitude round. So that was total about 50 minutes, 58 minutes. There were total of 40 questions comprising of 8 sections. So different sections were there. First was of logical ability, quantitative ability, also the data structure questions, computer network questions, operating system questions. So all were not too hard. That was pretty easy on basic concepts. So that was all about 40 questions. Like if you know it, you can also complete the test by 30 minutes itself. So time was sufficient enough to do the first round of interview. That was aptitude test. So I guess 70 to HackerRank was the platform.
Okay.
So yeah, out of 70 to 100 students were there. So out of them, they selected 19 students from the aptitude round.
So in that 8 sections, were there any coding or snippets or something like that?
No, there were no coding subjective questions. Yeah, there were code snippets, I guess, like we were asked to select the output from the above coding input, which was given. So yeah, there were 3 to 4 coding questions, like not subjective, but MCQ types.
So I guess then we can move on to the interview then. Technical
Okay.
one being the first one. Yeah.
Okay. So after they selected 19 students out of the first round, and then at the same day in the evening time, like, they took our first technical interview. So in the first technical interview was pretty much obviously the first question is introduce yourself. So that's the main question, and here you have to put all your core skills, what you're familiar with in technology, and also your curricular and non-curricular activities too. You can impress them with two for sure. So coming to the questions they asked, most of the questions were based on my resume itself, and also the couple of my projects were majorly on Android Studio using Java. So they majorly focus the questions on the Android Studio and the Java itself. Pretty basic questions were asked on Java, like all the OOPS concepts. So in the OOPS concept, questions were asked in a bit deep, like what's the difference between abstract and interface, a very minute difference to counts. Also, how do you implement polymorphism in Java? How do you implement encapsulation in Java? So these were the pretty bit basic questions. They were also expecting, they gave me one or two easy coding questions, which I have to do it orally. Not They didn't ask me to write, just I have to tell them orally. Also, they asked me that as an Android developer, as I've done 3 months internship as an Android developer, so they asked me to compare the two apps, which I think as a designer that this is a good interface, and like compare the two apps, which carries a good interface and which carries the bad interface. So they gave me this question, and I compared like Beam as a good interface and Paytm as a bit bad interface in the design part. So yeah, these were the questions asked in the first round of interview.
So first round was basically on resume and a few coding questions that you have to answer.
Yeah, coding questions were too easy, I guess. Just they were seeing like, am I familiar with it? Like the basic string questions, string manipulation questions. So they were easy.
So
Like
did
they
they
were
ask
just
you to
seeing
write
like,
the code?
no. They didn't ask me to write the code. I just have to. You can. They told me you can just tell them, tell me the logic directly.
Okay.
So yeah,
Second.
after the first technical interview, two students were shortlisted out of 19 students for the second technical interview. So in the second technical interview, the resume part, obviously I again introduced about myself, my projects also, but this time the projects were asked in a bit deep. Like all the projects were on Android Studio again, so they asked me a bit of questions, basic questions on Android and Java, and they asked me to elaborate my projects nicely, and they asked me a couple of questions like how did you reach that idea, because the projects we have done was a bit unique. So how did we guys brainstorm the ideas, like the start of the process, from the start of the process to the end, they asked all of the things. And then coming to the Java part, like they asked me that what technology I'm familiar with, so I told them Java, and they asked me all the, what do we call, the collections, all the collections in Java in a bit deep deep concepts they asked in collections, and how do I implement these concepts in Java. So this part went a bit long, I guess, like the Java concept. So the Java concepts were asked in a bit deep. So I would suggest, like, if you are familiar with Java, and if anyone is trying to do is applying for the company which is having the Java technology, I would suggest you all the basic things, the data structures in Java, the OOPS concepts in Java, and also the main thing is Java is, if you are applying for a bit higher end, you should be familiar with the collection, as we all implement the data structures with the collection in Java. So you have to be familiar with. So that was the second technical round. Like I didn't see anything coming apart from my resume. All the things which were asked was in my resume only. Like I wrote the which I'm technology I'm familiar with is Java, so they asked me only Java. So the things were the
Again, in
resume
this
itself.
round, no coding to write on or something.
No coding to write on. Also, they didn't ask me to they didn't ask me any logic for any question. So they just asked me about my projects. I told them projects, so that took a bit of much time. And then they moved to the Java questions, and the collection questions were asked.
So deep dive into your projects and the language that you had mentioned.
Yeah. Yes. So then there was HR interviews. Out of two, one was selected for the HR interview. So again, we had long conversation with the HR also. First of all, again, starting with that introduction about myself. And after the introduction, he asked me he read my resume in front of me. So he told me what did I learn from the 3 years of internship, from the mid-brains technologies which I worked on, apart from the technical skill set. So he wanted to know something apart from my technology, that what I have learned from the 3 months of internship which I did. I told them. Also, he asked me about my some of my weaknesses. So I told him, and also we had a long conversation upon how do I tackle these three weaknesses if I join their company. So it was a very friendly interview. Also, he asked me about where do I see myself after 5 years of my career. Also, asked me about whether I have any plans for studying abroad or any post graduation. Just wanted to know if I'm able to do the job in their company for a bit of much time. So they asked, and also they asked me about the location, as this company is on 4 location in India. So he asked me if the job opportunity is available in Chennai, will I be able to join? So we had a conversation over that what is my job preference and all. Also a long conversation on this too. So this HR round went around for 45 to 50 minutes. And also I was told that again there will be one round of interview, but after that there was no such round of interview. I was selected, yeah. And this whole process went for almost 10 days, 10 to 12 days.
Yeah. What was the gap between the consecutive rounds?
Yeah, the first test was aptitude, and just after the aptitude was conducted on the first day of morning, and on the same day the first technical round held in the evening, and then after 8 to 10 days HR round was conducted. And but yeah, after the HR round it took a bit of much time, after the 2 week gap was there till my result was declared.
Okay, 2 weeks of wait then for the results.
So, Chinmay, any tips for our juniors before applying in Altimetrik?
Yeah, so tips are, if you're familiar with Java technology, if you're familiar even with Python technology, the JavaScript, Node.js, so that will be having a good advantage if you're applying for this company. Also, those who are familiar with Node.js, JavaScript, or any JS technology, they can have pre-joining sessions or training before the actual joining itself, because in my time they hired them before. And also one tip for all the companies before applying, that you have to be consistent revising your OOPS concepts, computer network concepts, operating system concepts, because you just can't go on learning things before your interview happens. So you have to be consistent, you have to keep coding until you get the results. So you just have to stick with one language you're familiar with, and you have to be consistent over it.
Okay, then with that, I guess it's a wrap. Thank you so much, Chinmay, for coming in and sharing your experience. I hope it helps the viewers. And
Okay, thank you, Sanchita. Thank you, Devesh, because I wish we could have such kind of help from the seniors itself, because right now we are placed, but the juniors, it's gonna help the juniors too much, because now we keep on searching LinkedIn members and ask them what type of interviews they go on. So you guys are doing the great job. I wish we could have such help at our time. But
yes.
Thanks to you guys.
Exactly, guys. So Chinmay's LinkedIn profile will be in the description below, so you can reach out to him in case of any queries, any doubts you have regarding the recruitment process, and get all that help and guidance from him. And if you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And we'll be back next week. So till then, take care and prepare well. Thank you.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye, guys.